here we go. We're going to do a mock draft here. I got a bunch of people here. I know a lot of them. A lot of them just friends from the community. Some of them I know personally. And we're going to get this mock draft in from the 12 spot. We've had a lot of NFL news start to happen as we gear up for the season. And here we go. Begin. Right now we got a minute for the picks. Once we get to like the 5th round, I'm going to change that to 30 seconds. All right, so we got Christian McCaffrey, Saquon, standard picks, Ezekiel Elliott. This trend you've been seeing, running backs have been flying off the board in these drafts. This is like a typical 1, 2, 3 punch right here. You'll see this time after time. Now, the 4th pick, that's where it starts getting more complicated because that's where you used to see Dalvin Cook going between 3 and 4. But now he's starting to fall due to the news of his holdout. So you just saw Michael Thomas go, the first wide receiver, bumped him up a pick from where he normally goes. Him and Zeke, actually. This interesting now with the 5th pick. Does Dalvin Cook, with the new information about his holdout, does he go here? I'm interested to see where he falls in drafts. Alvin Kamara goes. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I got the 12th one. I randomized these the picks here, so I wasn't trying to get any preferential treatment here. It put me at the 12th, which is going to be an interesting place to pick, especially with Joel picking before me because he's a avid watcher of the show, so I know he's knows the guys I like, so he may try and snipe some of them. You got Dalvin Cook goes after Alvin Kamara, so he's fallen about 3-4 picks so far. We'll see as his holdout continues. You can expect to see that trend continue as well. Derrick Henry, Josh Jacob goes. This is exactly what I'm talking about with these running backs, guys. Like they're flying off the board. It's kind of wild. Yeah, kind of weird. It had Ezekiel Elliott ranked 11th on here. Kind of crazy. Nick Chubb goes off the board next. I think that's good. Josh Jacobs, I think that's a great pick there. I've been talking about my love for him. Kenyon Drake just goes right here at 110. He's a little bit riskier for me. I'll actually be covering that on an episode coming up. I probably wouldn't rank him quite that high. We still have DeAndre Hopkins on the board here. Austin Eckler goes here. So we got Joe Mixon, DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams here. So that's kind of interesting. Let's see. I'm gonna just click on running back, see which ones are here. I'm going to be a little bit bold here and go wide receiver. Take Devontae Adams with my first pick. Then come back here and take Joe Mixon with my next pick. Kind of see how things turn out there. Got this sweet fruity drink here. I love these things. It's like Red Bull and like some fruit flavors in it. It's crazy. Keeps me going. Gets the people amped up, Miles Sanders goes after Joe Mixon. That's great. I like that for Joel. He took Austin Eckler and Miles Sanders, two great pass catching backs. I really like that. I've been going really running back heavy in most of the drafts, doing running back in some cases. I think that's like so far I like my team when it turns out that way, but I want to try, see what it looks like when I don't do that. See what running backs I might be able to get in these mid rounds. Maybe I'll end up liking my team if I have some elite pass catchers or something like that. Aaron Jones goes next. I like that pick. Tyreek Hill. That's a good pick. I think I have him ranked there at 4, maybe 5. I have to look at my rankings. My wife blowing up my phone right now. Sorry about that, guys. But come back to Bam Bam over here for his pick after Tyreek Hill. This will be interesting. This like where you start to see a little deviation in where people may not start going running back all the time. Julio Jones still on the board. You have Patrick Mahomes still there. He usually, I mean, please don't go Patrick Mahomes, people. He shouldn't be going for a couple more. All right, Julio goes right there. I think that guy may have been an auto pick. Don't join a draft if you're going to auto pick people. I could set it to auto pick for you. Okay, so now the person with Dalvin Cook, he took. he continued. Okay, so he took Dalvin Cook in the first round. Then he goes Lamar Jackson. Way too early for me for Lamar Jackson. Don't go quarterback in the second round. That's my opinion, especially when you have Lamar and Patrick Mahomes both still on the board. I would go one of them in the third round if they came back to me there, but you got to get that value out of them. It's not that I hate those players. It's just for quarterback, their value in a single quarterback league isn't worth it in the first 2 rounds, especially when you see all these running backs, especially going off the board. And then Chris Godwin goes. I yeah, some that's pretty far for Chris Godwin. Kind of crazy to see him fall that far. Leonard Fournette after that I'm not huge on Leonard Fournette this year, but for being in the second round, I think that's okay value. CEH. Uh, I've seen analysts all over on CEH. I'm more in the middle on CEH from a lot of them. Back into the second round, I'm cool with that. You could grab him there. Uh, he's on an explosive offense, gonna get tons of touches, get lots of opportunity to score, so that's good for him. Kenny Galladay, Mike Evans. We're seeing a lot more wide receivers go off the board in this one than some of the previous ones, which I'm loving. But I'm kind of feeling like I should have went more running back heavy at the beginning, get some great running backs. But now some of them might make it back to me, so that's pretty awesome. I'm betting we're going to see Patrick Mahomes go off the board in this round, and then Travis Kelce and Kittle go off the board as they're the 2 highest ranked tight ends, and they're really where the tier break is. You have two quarterbacks in the top tier, and you have 2 tight ends in that top tier. Todd Gurley goes in the third round. I am not taking Todd Gurley. He just passed his physical, so you're going to see him rise up in drafts. But the problem isn't he can't pass a physical. He's healthy enough to pass a physical. He just can't. Like, his is a pain management thing. The more he plays, the more painful his knee's going to become until he can't play anymore. Like, he'll be in too much pain. So it's kind of interesting. I'm avoiding him. I think that he's going to end up missing some games or coming out of games early, and he's going to just hurt your team. So I don't recommend it. Let's see. Melvin Gordon. I like Melvin Gordon there. I'd way rather have Melvin Gordon the third than Todd Gurley the second. Melvin Gordon, a great all-around back, pass catcher. He's going to be a bell cow back in that offense, despite what a lot of people are talking about. A lot of people are saying that he's going to see, he's going to be splitting carries there. I don't think that's the case. I mean, he'll split some carries, obviously, because it's the NFL. So you're going to see a little bit of his work taken, but I still expect him to get over 60% of those carries, which should translate to a top end running back 2 to a back end running back 1. So getting him in the third round is great value. David Johnson, that's another one similar to Todd Gurley, but I actually like him more than Todd Gurley just because I think he's in a better offense there and has a better opportunity. Chris Carson, that's man, all the risky running backs going. Todd Gurley, David Johnson, Chris Carson. Le'Veon Bell has no injury, hasn't not a big injury risk, but just a risky running back there. Pat Mahomes goes off the board as I expected. Now, who's going to take this first tight end? If I'm telling you right now, if one of these tight ends makes it back to me on the back end of the third, I'm taking them. That value is just incredible. They shouldn't make it that far. As I said, they're the top tier tight ends. And I'm pretty sure this guy's auto drafting, so I'm just going to make his pick for him since he is not actually here. Let the computer pick. He takes Adam Thielen. That's what you get. Yep, Travis Kelce goes. I would not be shocked if Kittle is the next pick. Yep. Oh my God, guys, I am psychic. Devin Singletary goes. But see, this helping me too because it means some of these running backs going to fall to me. I like Singletary there. I'm hoping to get David Montgomery here. James Conner's the next highest rated one. I have no interest in him. If he falls really far, sure. I just don't see that happening. So I'm going to take David Montgomery here. So it comes back to me. Let me look at the overall and see what we got. We got Amari Cooper, Allen Robinson's here. Man, let me look at these running backs. Maybe I'll go wide receiver here. Let me look down a little bit. I'm too scared to go wide receiver here because there's too many other ones that I think I could get later. So I am going to grab Jonathan Taylor. They got James Conner and Raheem Mostert here rated around like ahead of him. But I know Taylor won't make it back to me, and I think he's going to have more work there. So you know what? I'm actually going to go wide receiver and see who falls to me just so I can see how this turns out. Going Allen Robinson here. Got a nice double stack running back sandwich in there. Wide receiver, running back, wide receiver for me. Allen Robinson's going to be a target monster too this year. So any sort of PPR, you got to raise him up a little bit. AJ Brown in the fourth is that's some good value as well. I like if I didn't go Allen Robinson, I probably'd go AJ Brown. Yeah, let's see. See who goes off the board next here. Got FF Fortune here. Looking at his team, he's got Kenyon Drake, DeAndre Hopkins, Devin Singletary. See if he goes running back here or wide receiver. Kind of telling with these people on how they draft. It's interesting to see different strategies and what people are doing. He goes wide receiver with Cooper Kupp. Okay. I don't hate it. But like I'd probably go I know I just went wide receiver, but I probably would have went running back if I were him. I'm not as secure in the running backs he has as he is. I think mine are much more safer picks. And then both Coopers go off the board. Cooper Kupp, Amari Cooper. DJ Moore, I love that pick. I gotta let them know. Let the people know. All right, we come back to this fool who's auto drafting. And he takes Calvin Ridley with the auto pick. He's gotten 3 wide receivers. Ooh, that's not a great way to win a fantasy league here. Let's see. This guy's got Dalvin Cook, Lamar Jackson, Lev Bell. So I feel like he has to go wide receiver here. He's put himself kind of like force the hand. which sucks because everyone this round has gone wide receiver. That's another thing I should say I've been noticing in these drafts. Uh, yep, he goes Juju. Uh, so you've been seeing like super running back heavy for the first 2 rounds. Then round 3, it's kind of you start seeing your tight ends and quarterbacks go off the board with running backs and wide receivers kind of evenly dispersed in there. And then round 4, you just start seeing these wide receivers flying off the board. See, James Conner fell all the way down to 4-8. I think that's a decent pick there. I like that. It's way below his ADP, but that's where I think he belongs. Robert Woods, who I actually have ranked higher than Cooper Kupp this year, so I think that's a good pick. Let's see who goes next. This is the team with David Johnson, takes T.Y. Hilton, continuing with that injury risk there with those last 2 picks. He's man, I love me some Ty. I just don't feel secure having Ty as my wide receiver 1. Like on my team, for example, with Devonte Adams, I would have felt a lot better about grabbing Ty. Obviously, if he came all the way back to me or something, or if I'd gone running back this round, I wouldn't take him in the 4th round. That's insane. Swift goes. Spencer the Guru. If you guys don't follow him on Instagram, make sure you go check him out. Great dude. Just puts out constant great content. So make sure you check him out. And he takes DeAndre Swift. That's a great pick. He's got 3 running backs, 3 studs really, and a good awesome wide receiver who gets slept on, Kenny Golladay. Keenan Allen goes off the board. And on the second half of the back end, he takes Mark Ingram. I don't like that team so far. He's got Mark Ingram and Todd Gurley as his number 2 and 3 running back. Like, I think Mark Ingram's going to lose it, like become the second back in that backfield as the season progresses. And with Todd Gurley not staying healthy, or I don't think he can stay healthy, you may not have either of those guys on the second half of the season. I'm okay with taking risks with players that have injury histories and like something like a Mark Ingram, but you have to make sure you counterbalance that risk. Like maybe take Mark Ingram and then take a rookie running back that may be starting later in the year. Cortland Sutton, Mark Andrews, I believe he is my number 3 tight end. But I think this around where he will go in drafts, and it's sad because like I like him, but if I don't get one of those top 2 tight ends, I'm not taking a tight end before round 6. And I feel the same way with quarterbacks. For that next tier, round 6 is where I start looking at some of these guys to see if I am going to grab them. As it starts coming back to me, I got to start looking at who I'm going to pick. They got, let me go over these guys who got picked after Mark Andrews. We got Mostert. He could be a league winner this year. He's great running back. His issue is he doesn't really stay healthy. And then also he's in a backfield where they love to move the ball around to different running backs, just give it to the hot hand. So he could have a week where he's just not performing, and they're just like, you know what? You're not our running back this week. We'll give you another shot next week. So that's kind of interesting. DK Metcalf, absolute beast. I would have loved to grab him as my wide receiver 3 here. Jonathan Taylor comes off the board. I'm going to switch this to 30-second picks. Cam Akers, okay. He's the rookie running back for the Rams. For those of you who don't know, that's going to be a battle for that backfield between him and Darrell Henderson. Tyler Lockett goes off the board. Stephon Diggs, Kareem Hunt comes off the board. I'm looking here. Debo Samuels, that's one of my guys, so I got to snag him. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to pause this and make it 30-second picks. Pause draft. Where do I go to make this? Draft settings, there we go. All right, here we go. Back to me. So I got Debo Samuels. I'm looking at a running back now. I need to grab myself another running back here. I'm going to go ahead and grab J.K. Dobbins, who I think I can start later in the year, I think. No, I'm taking Keyshawn Vaughn, who I think is going to be the starting running back in Tampa Bay. And taking Keyshawn Vaughn in the 8th round, that's fine. I got 3 wide receivers that I think are all beasts. And then I got a running back who is, that's a little bit of a risk there, but I'm okay with that. Kyler Murray goes off the board as the 3rd quarterback. The reason why I'm okay with that, though, is because I'm not forced to start him. This is my flex spot. I could put Debo down here, or if Keyshawn pans out, he could be there for me. Brandon Cooks goes off the board. It's sad. He was in the 8th round earlier. I was talking about him a lot. I love getting him in the 7th, 8th round. And I was talking about how he belonged in at least the 6th round. And unfortunately, too many people believe me, and now I never get him. Sony Michel comes off the board. That is a guy I was considering. Someone took Rojo, who Keyshawn's actually competing against. So apparently that person believes in Rojo a little bit more than I do. Michael Gallup comes off the board. Another one of the Dallas wide receivers. That's going to be interesting because I think each week you're going to see a different Dallas wide receiver leading the pack. Russell Wilson. That's the Russell Wilson pick. Awesome. I actually have him as my QB3 over Kyler. I think I actually have Kyler as my QB6. It's crazy how the hype around Kyler has just blown his ADP up. Darren Waller goes off the board behind Zach Ertz. We're starting to see some of these second-tier tight ends and quarterbacks go. Deshaun Watson off the board. Let me look at what quarterbacks are even available. Dak Prescott still on the board. This is where it gets interesting. Oh, Drew Brees has moved up in ADP quite a bit. That's interesting. ADPs have been shifting. I might have to do an episode covering like the shifts in ADP. Matt Breida got traded over, or I believe he got traded. He may have been a free agent, but he goes from the San Francisco 49ers to Miami, where he'll be playing with Jordan Howard. The interesting thing is I think Jordan Howard's going to be the lead back there, but Matt Breida has been moving up draft boards. He's actually seeing more love as of lately than Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard's still pretty far down here. I'm sure he'll come back to me if I want to take that shot. But Marquise Hollywood Brown goes off the board. Dak Prescott, Marlon Mack. Starting to get a little bit interesting with the running backs here, because this is where you're going to start seeing these running backs who are competing for spots. One of the ones I was considering reaching down and grabbing on my last pick, I'm pretty sure he's going to make it back to me. That's J.K. Dobbins. I would love to grab him here, as I think he's going to take over the backfield, as I said before, from Mark Ingram. And I won't have to start him for the first, probably half of the season. And then by the time he takes over the backfield, it'll just be fantastic for me. Oh, Alexander Madison in the 7th. Woo! And that's not even the Cooks owner. That shows. So Alexander Madison's ADP being affected more than Dalvin Cook's with this news. J.K. Dobbins goes 2 picks before me. I may go wide receiver here. Drew Brees goes before me. Ooh, okay. Let me look at these. We got Deontay Johnson. I've been liking him more and more in Pittsburgh. Someone there's got to eat. And looking at his metrics and stuff from last year, he's an absolute beast. I'm going to go ahead and grab Damian Williams here, though. I think he's still going to have a role there. And then wide receiver, I'm going to keep this trend up, I think. Let me look at tight ends real quick. Nope, not interested. Too many quarterbacks have gone, so I'm not even looking at one of them. I'm reaching down here to my boy Deontay Johnson. He's one of the good players I'm going to be hyping up here soon, so you'll start seeing him going a little bit earlier, and at least in my drafts, the circle of people I influence. And fortunately for you guys, I don't have that big of an influence. So in your draft, Deontay Johnson will probably last to this point or higher. Hunter Henry goes off. I love Hunter Henry. I was hoping he'd come back to me. Joel's taking these players he knows I like. He took Drew Brees, Hunter Henry, Darius Slayton. I love that pick. That's incredible. He's a really, I don't think he's top tier talent for wide receiver, but he's playing on a team that doesn't have any top end talent. So it's interesting to see where he's going to end up. He's the best. I like to say that the Giants have a team full of number 3 wide receivers, and Darius Slayton's the only number 2 wide receiver there. So he's going to get his. He's going to eat. And Evan Ingram, if he could stay healthy, he could eat there too. Darius Geis went off the board. Oh, people starting to not make their picks on time with this 30-second clock. Rob Gronkowski. That's why you need clock management, people. Clock management. Jerry Jeudy goes off the board. I'm wondering when that team takes a tight end, because they took quarterback super early. Tight end will be interesting for them. See where they go. Let me look at my bench here. We got 2 bench spots left. I still need a tight end and a quarterback. Tyler Higbee goes off the board. I believe there's me and 3 other teams that don't have a tight end. I always talk about this too. Make sure you watch who other people are drafting, especially in one quarterback leagues. If everyone has a quarterback already, don't draft a quarterback till the end of the very end of the draft with your last pick. That's when you need to. Will Fuller, Josh Allen. So I'm probably gonna this quarterback situation looking a little bit at sketch. I got Aaron Rodgers and Matt Ryan, who I like both of those. Carson Wentz still down here, not bad. So there's still 3 quarterbacks here who I'd be okay having any one of them. And there's 1, 2, 3, and me, teams that don't have a quarterback. So we'll see. As long as all 3 of them don't go quarterback before me and pick the 3 quarterbacks I like, then I'll be good. A lot of people like Daniel Jones as well. He's down there a little bit on ADP. Matthew Stafford. So it'll be interesting if one of them reaches for him. Oh, second tight end goes with Austin Hooper in Cleveland. I think there's too many mouths to feed in Cleveland. They tried this last year. I have Odell Beckham as doing a little bit better than last year. I'm not avoiding him this year like I was last year. But to see Austin Hooper go there, that's like depressing to me. Like they don't need that. They need to get more offensive linemen to get Baker some more help back there. And Will Fuller, it's crazy too. He was being drafted ahead of Brandon Cooks a month ago. And now Brandon Cooks is 2 full rounds above him. Zach Moss, that's a good pick. In the 9th round. Just realized you guys can't even see the picks right now. Let me fix that for you. Philip Lindsay, Hayden Hurst. Who we got next? We got the person who took Gronk around the league. Let me look at the tight end situation too. We still got Jared Cook, Noah Fant, Mike Gesicki, TJ Hawkinson, Jonnu Smith. I think out of these, I'm okay with Jared Cook or Gesicki. And I think I can wait on him. Matt Ryan comes off the board. That's one of the quarterbacks I was talking about. This person who's auto picking gets Kerryon Johnson. Someone had to take him. Tariq Cohen goes off the board. I'm not big on Tariq Cohen. A few years ago I was, but I think they're ready to have a bell cow running back. So I think that they're going to be really feeding Montgomery. Tyler Boyd went Emmanuel Sanders. I like that Emmanuel Sanders this late. Noah Fant. We just covered Noah Fant. I downgraded him in my rankings after the draft. Comes to Joel. Let's see what he does here. Tevin Coleman. All right, so I got both the tight ends I like here. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my quarterback here. I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers. Tight end. Let me go ahead and take Jared Cook here. And then I can take 2 dart throws on my last 2 picks. On some players that, I might think are sleepers or may have an opportunity to hit it big, but maybe not a great opportunity, but that's why it's a dart throw, and that's why you get them with the very last picks here. That's the nice thing about being on this 12th pick. I can just kind of reach for players. It's kind of freeing. You don't have to worry as much about the ADPs to where you have players ranked. CeeDee Lamb goes, Marvin Jones. I'm looking down here too. There's a lot of these players that I think could be breakout players. So I don't even know where I'm gonna go with this pick. There's too many of them. I need to increase my bench size by like 5 spots. Latavius Murray, man, I'm not grabbing Latavius Murray unless I own Alvin Kamara. I'm going to just let the Alvin Kamara owner have Latavius. Henry Ruggs, I like that. It's an auto pick, but good pick. This guy's team, I don't really like it. That's why you don't auto pick. He has Julio and Calvin Ridley. Not a big fan of that. Ronald Jones is his second running back. Then Darius Geis, Kerryon Johnson. So he basically does not have a second running back. Mecole Hardman, that's a good late round pick. He can he's one of those guys, he could tear it up this season. And for getting him as late as you do, he has a huge ceiling and a very low floor. That's why he goes so late. But that's the exact type of guy you want to get at the back end of a draft, is a guy who he might turn into nothing and you can drop him and you won't feel bad about it at all. Or he could be starting in your lineup like by the end of the season. So that's what I'm going to do with my last 2 picks, is pick I'm gonna look for those type of guys. Someone who's either gonna be nothing or is gonna be a rock star for my team. Let me look at some of these other picks who went real quick. I wasn't paying attention. Jalen Rager goes. That's a good one. Jameis Crowder goes. Justin Jefferson. I love that pick. Christian Kirk. I'm not huge on that one. Matthew Stafford. I never am an advocate for grabbing two quarterbacks or two tight ends. So if you do both, then I don't like your team that much. It looks like he might not make the time limit to pick again. These people. Come on, get your stuff together. You need better clock management here. Larry Fitzgerald comes back to Guru. I know Guru's ready. Yep, takes Denzel Mims. Tony Pollard. That's the Zeke owner. That's what I'm talking about. That's how it should be done. Mike Gesicki goes. If you didn't already have a tight end, I would have loved that. But you already had a tight end. All right, let's see who goes next. Preston Williams. That's another guy I like. These are some good picks here. These are some of the guys that I was going to be targeting. So that's great. Darrell Henderson's still on the board. That's kind of crazy to me. If he makes it back to me, I'm grabbing him. He could be the starting running back for the Rams. He's competing with a rookie who's unproven. And last year, Darrell Henderson was like a fourth or fifth round pick. In for ADP. So, there he goes. Drew Lock. Let's see who Carson takes. Antonio Gibson. That's another one of the guys. Man, I'm gonna have to look at some new players here. I got one in mind that's coming up. He's a little bit of a reach, but I'm okay with reaching with my last two picks. Jared Goff goes off the board. I got to find my second guy here. Pretty sure I know which two I'm going to grab. TJ Hawkinson's still on the board. That's kind of crazy with all the hype that he had during this offseason. People are talking a lot about him. Baker Mayfield comes to Joel. And he takes Pittman. This is what I'm talking about, people. Joel knows the players I like. All right, let me see. That was one of the guys I was looking to grab. Here's one of the other ones. Chase Edmonds, take him. As I said, Drake is unproven, so hopefully Chase Edmonds could get in there some, get the ball. Then I'm gonna scroll down here a little bit and do a little bit of a reach here with Anthony McFarland as my last pick. He's a rookie running back for Pittsburgh. And just looking at the chat, sorry, someone said clock ran out. I never would have taken Baker. But yeah, so Anthony McFarland, rookie for Pittsburgh, behind Connor, who could not stay healthy and couldn't carry a full load. So Anthony McFarland may get some opportunities there. So I'm okay with that. Brandon Ayuk, that someone just took. Carson took him. Man, I like this guy, Carson. That's another good pick there for the last round. He took Antonio Gibson, one of the guys I really wanted to grab, and Brandon Ayuk. Both great picks. Someone said the clock ran out, so I told him the clock never runs out. This last guy auto drafting John Brown. It's an auto draft, but that's a great pick for the last round. John Brown's another one of those guys who could be huge this year in Buffalo, but he does have another wide receiver there, which may actually help him. So Sterling Shepard. Let's see who these last couple players are, and we'll wrap this up, guys, and I'll get this uploaded so you guys could enjoy this wonderful content here. Make sure you guys subscribe to us too. I appreciate it. We're starting. I got a bunch of these clock management shirts made. I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna give these out to people in what way. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. Hit me up somewhere. Social media, Twitter. I don't care. YouTube comments. Gardner Minshew goes. Horrible pick. Alshon Jeffrey. I guess it's okay with the last round. I'm okay with Alshon in the last. Crazy to see how far Alshon has fallen. Guru on the clock. Let's see if he gets his pick in. 3, 2, 1. And he didn't get it in time. For his last pick, he gets Mike Williams. I'd be okay with that one. And the very last pick of the draft. Could be anyone. James Washington in Pittsburgh. I'm okay with it. Not in love with that one, but all right. I'm going to visit my team because, who cares about anyone else's team? Plus, I'm not going to go through every team on here. Be crazy. But Devontae Adams, Joe Mixon, David Montgomery, Allen Robinson, Deebo Samuels, Keyshawn Vaughn, Damian Williams, Deontay Johnson, Aaron Rodgers, Jared Cook, Chase Edmonds, Anthony McFarland. I'm okay with this. I got 2 what I feel like are stud, especially PPR backs. And I'll discuss David Montgomery's PPR value at a later time, people, because I know there's a lot of hate there. But 2 studs and then 3 studs at wide receiver, so I can flex one of them, which allowed me to take some risks here. So that's why I took Keyshawn, Damian Williams, Deontay Johnson, got a quarterback I actually wanted to target and tight end, and then took some more risk at running back. So if any one of these 4 running backs pans out, I'm sitting just gold. All right, well, thanks for joining us, guys. Glad to be back to 2 episodes a week, and we'll be posting again on Saturday. So make sure you guys check that out Saturday morning. Finish watching your cartoons, pour you a second bowl of cereal, and sit down and manage the clock with us.